What's going on, everybody? The world is a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. And we're about to talk about college football and the NFL right now. Week 14 recap of the college football season, NFL Week 13. And before we get into that, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding this show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, Twitter at PodCobblePod, we're on TikTok at Productive Conversations, and Facebook at Productive Conversations. I hope everybody had a good break. Johnny was able to do their thing, enjoy their family time, enjoy some time off, or if you worked, you at least got your time and a half, and you at least earned your place and earned your paycheck. But regardless, it's December, is the final month of the year. And as we are about to head into another busy month for Productive Conversations, we're also heading into the best time of the year. And now, with meaningful December games in the NFL beginning, and with the college football play season, regular season coming to an end as we head into conference championship week, we have a lot to discuss and look forward to. So basically, some more programming notes here. Little things, we said different things here and there, but this is what we have come up with. So the NFL recaps, instead of Mondays, they'll be back on Tuesdays for the rest of the regular season. That'll be the case every day for the rest of December. Regarding college football, we will have a show on Monday. We will have the shows coming at you on Tuesdays as well. It's going to be the first selection Sunday of the college football playoff this Sunday. And then the college football playoff the college football playoff will begin on December 20th. So what this means is that after conference championship weekend, we will also be releasing a show on Tuesday. And we are going to split the shows this time. Instead of having them in one podcast, we're going to split them for the rest of the season. And we'll do a college football reaction show, selection Sunday reaction show as we go through the final bracket. We will discuss it in depth, and I'll have somebody with me to discuss it. And you will know who he is, and you will be happy to see he's adding to his repertoire of the things he talks about. So that person, he or she, will come on, and we will discuss Selection Sunday on Monday. On Tuesday. It'll be released on Tuesday. We'll record on Monday. And the NFL will be released on Tuesday as well. And that's how we will attack these football shows. So the NFL recaps for the rest of the season on Tuesday. College football playoff will react next week on Tuesday to the conference championship weekend, and then the final college football bracket. And with that, then we will take a couple weeks off for college football, and then we will cover the college football championship. We'll cover the college football playoff as that begins, as I mentioned, on the 20th of December. That'll be a Friday. We will react on Monday, the 23rd. We will do a college football playoff reaction. We will then react every week after that. So we will do the 30th of December, record it, drop it on December 31st, my 30th birthday. Wow. So we'll talk about that. And we have that first week of January, the way it falls. We will have a in-depth discussion after the semifinals. So then we'll discuss it on January 6th, that Monday, into Tuesday the 7th. And then then the national championship. Let me see it. When is the college football national championship? So that'll be January 20th. So it is a week after that, and then we'll finish on just January 21st, and then meaningful December games begin, and then we will react on Sunday night when playoff football starts in January. So we'll do those reactions then, and then we'll march our way through February, and then that's another football season. So lots to do, a lot to look forward to. So let's talk about it. Let's now talk about what happened this week. Let's first talk with the college football. Obviously, the theme here, we even talked about this with the tweet cap that was released on Tuesday. Flag planting, brawls, in competitive games. Michigan, Ohio State, obviously, Michigan with the huge upset there. And Ohio State, spoiler, while they are still in the college football playoff, definitely kills their stock, and they will not be competing for a Big Ten championship. So there's that. The Arizona State game was crucial. The Arizona State winning, and right now they will be in the college football playoff as the 12th seed at the moment. While they also, so that's let me confirm. While they also, one moment. Da, 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 while they also compete for a Big 12 championship. And yeah, then we'll go through that, but that was a crucial game there. Colorado want to keep their season alive, but not in the top 12 of the college football playoff at the moment, or even the first teams out. That with Army big win, and then Oregon completing a undefeated regular season and put that on the line in the Big Ten championship. And yeah, lots to do. And those were some of the big things of note. And of course, the 8 overtime Georgia and Georgia Tech game that took place on Friday night. Thrilled throughout. You wanted Georgia Tech to pull off the upset, but came a little short. Oh well. But yeah, that's what we have with those games. Now we look at the college football playoff bracket right at this moment. Then we'll talk about the conference championships and preview that. Obviously, we have Oregon, number one ranked in the country, and they will be playing for a Big Ten championship this weekend. They have the bye in the quarterfinal. We have Texas at this moment, the number 2 seed. They will be competing for an SEC championship. No, I'm sorry. Yes, they are competing against an SEC championship on Saturday as well against Georgia. We have SMU, who will be competing for an ACC championship. They have the bye at the moment, the third ranked bye. And then Boise State, who will be playing for a Mountain West championship. They will have the other quarterfinal. Now, where they're ranked, right? Ranked 10th in the nation. And Georgia will be have home field advantage as a 7th seed at this moment. Notre Dame continuing their hot winning streak and beating down at USC this weekend at USC. They are now 11-1, have the 6th seed. Ohio State, obviously, with their loss, but still the high record and beating teams' strength of schedule. They're 8th. And at this moment, we have a Penn State and Arizona State matchup. Again, Penn State competed for the Big Ten championship. Arizona State competing for a Big 12 championship. That's who you have at this moment. Miami is out at this moment. So we have other people not ranked at here. Just one moment. And we obviously have Tennessee with they get a crucial victory this past weekend. They're ranked 7th. Bama ranked 11th. And again, a lot of people complaining about the 3 losses, but it's their strength of schedule and who they beat and why they're there. And then Indiana takes 10th. And that will round out who we have for the college football playoff projected bracket. Now, everything on the line here is no doubt based on these conference championships and who wins and the strength of schedule and how convincing the victory is and all of that. Those crucial games will be played on Saturday. And then, like we said, we'll have a big Selection Sunday show on Sunday. Then we'll react to that on Monday, and that'll be released on Tuesday for you. But we have a Boise State UNLV matchup for the Mountain West Championship at Boise State Friday night. Boise State opening at a -4 favorite. Obviously, with Jenny as their stud Heisman Trophy finalist, no doubt about that. Against a UNLV team who's rising up the ranks and able to get themselves ranked at this point to give themselves a chance. Boise State should get this victory. I think that spread will be hit easily. And Boise State, obviously, due to the run game and actually pretty good defense, they should have no problems against UNLV. And the other Friday night game, ABC, the American Athletic, the AAC championship with Tulane and Army going at it. Some people felt Tulane, some bad losses at the end of the season. They could have been ranked, but they're in this position. Then we have Army, who's had this magical season, only lost to Notre Dame, and they got a beat down. And that right before they play the Navy game next week, this could get some big momentum if they can lock themselves in the college football playoff. Be hella impressive. Though they are the 5-point underdogs in this, or Army's at home, the morale, patriotism, but Tulane's a good team as well. I'm gonna go. Hmm. This is a tough one. I would say this is a real tough one to grasp in the AAC championship. Army's been scrappy all season long. They play really well on offense. Tulane, for the little I've seen, I was more impressed with their defense. But I haven't seen a lot of Tulane games this year. I'm not gonna lie to you, um, but it does definitely create an interesting matchup. I will say, with Tulane highly projected to get this victory. They last played in 2020. Tulane with 38-12 victory. Obviously, a whole different lifetime ago. It seems that people really believe that Tulane's going to get this despite the magical season Army has been able to have. Probably go with Tulane on this one. Maybe the game is close and Army can cover the spread, but I see Tulane, a team that has had quite the journey fighting get ranked, unranked, all of that. I think Tulane will make a statement, getting a big win over Army on the road. And Saturday, your Big 12 championship, you have Iowa State and Arizona State. Arizona State as a slight 2-point favorite. Give me Arizona State with the 2 points there. Now we got a Georgia and Texas SEC championship, 4 o'clock. What else would you want? A Texas team that has had their quarterback issues but have played well, then a Georgia team that, despite their weird season they have, some people still think they can stay dominant, despite almost losing Georgia Tech. It took 8 overtimes. But I believe Georgia can cover this 2.5-point spread, and they'll be the ones to knock out Texas and get the victory there. But that's going to be hella interesting. But no, I take that back. I'm going to give Texas with this. No matter who they start at quarterback, have been great with the quarterback position, whether it's Archer Quinn. Running game's underrated. Stellar defense. Georgia has played close games all season long. Let me just double check one thing. Remember, they played earlier in the year in October. Georgia won 30-15. And this is the exact same scenario. Let me just make sure. As last time, only this time they're in a neutral site and in their home turf. But I still think Texas could get this victory. Give me Texas, the -2.5 points. Penn State and Oregon, Big Ten championship, played also on a neutral site. Penn State doesn't seem to perform and step up in these big games, and Oregon has been great all season long. Oregon, the -3.5-point favorite. Give me Oregon on this one. And then SMU and Clemson. SMU's been a fun team to watch all season long. Clemson have had their ways to get the respect they deserve, some people say. Give me Clemson at the +2.5 to get the upset, the technical upset over SMU, even though SMU's been a good team all along. But regardless, though, we'll have a lot to talk about on Tuesday. Record on Monday, but we'll have a lot to talk about on Tuesday to discuss where these conference championships lie, and then we'll look at the bracket and talk about it there. Who deserved it, who didn't, all of that good stuff and all that jazz. But it will be a fun and entertaining thing to talk about, and college football is going to be mad interesting going into December. And we'll also we could briefly talk about, we'll see with the bowl selections and where they go, but can't wait to see next week how things unfold, and we'll talk all about it, like I said, next week with college football. See you on Tuesday with that. NFL right now, week 13, from the Thanksgiving games that included No Tommy DeVito, and the Cowboys and Giants played. Giants and Cowboys. It was tough. Giants put somewhat of a fight. Drew Lock somewhat put a fight at the end, kept it close, but Dallas covers the spread easily. Giants continue their awful season. First one without Daniel Jones on the roster. And Cowboys were just getting to Drew Lock all game long. And, you know, you just want the games to be a little competitive, but you don't mind a loss because we clearly need to look to the future. And whether it's Daboll or Shane are there to stay, who knows? Keeping games close helps their case to stay another year. I guess we can leave it at that, right? Excuse me. The Cowboys win and actually somewhat keep their season alive. And they're technically in the hunt, but they finally got their first win at home at the Giants' expense. Silly stuff. Obviously, the Lions and Bears. Lions somewhat degraded a little bit. The Bears kept a fight throughout. Then, with questionable coaching decisions, not calling a timeout at the end, and basically blowing their opportunity to tie the game in field goal range. Matt Eberflus is out while the Bears are still in the hunt. And people said we're surprised Eberflus was here to begin with the season, but now he's gone. The Bears continue to lose these heartbreaking games. Literally, the last play of the game, this is like the fourth or fifth game that this happened. But the Lions continue their amazing season. Now are 11-1. Bears continue to stay bad on the road, technically in the hunt, but their season's likely over. And Lions continue to dominate defensively, have the best running back duo, Sonic and Knuckles, in the game. Montgomery and Gibbs, and Detroit with a big victory. Dolphins and Packers. Dolphins, cold weather, bet against them. You could have even bet everything. That spread wasn't that much. I think it was only 6.5 points. And a 30-7 victory keeps the Packers in great range and keeps the Packers in a good spot. As long as everybody's healthy, the Packers offensively are dominant. Their defense are okay, but Miami, pretty much as long as they aren't playing in Miami, you always bet against them if they're not in a warm climate. Clearly, Tua can't play in the cold, and it will be yours to win if you're putting some money on that. But Packers win 30-17 and continue to look like a really great team in this NFC and a team to watch out for. Black Friday, you had the Raiders and Chiefs, insanely close again. Of course, the Chiefs don't cover the spread. Of course, a mishap with the Raiders quarterback with probably the most anticlimactic, almost stupid botch snap by the Raiders in the closing seconds, make them clinch their playoff berth. Raiders just continue to fall as they are clearly about to start regime change. And yet the Chiefs stay undefeated, 11-1. And they got I don't know. What's there really discussed with the Chiefs? You're worried about their roster. We'll have the real discussion in the playoffs. They'll probably not need to play. Will probably not need to play in the wild card. They'll probably be the number one team in the AFC, trying to secure that home field advantage, and you will see the Chiefs back with home field advantage in Arrowhead. But with breaks like this happening all season long, and maybe the refs as well, Chiefs win a game. How can you be surprised? Just remember they can't cover the spread. Seahawks and Jets, as what looked like the Jets were finally going to turn the page, at least have a positive week, only from bad quarterback play from Aaron Rodgers and just the Jets defense not being able to keep up with the Seahawks in the second half. They get a 26-21 victory, and now people are expecting the farewell tour for Rodgers to begin. And as they begin a regime change, and the Seahawks continue to stay on top of their division with the 49ers faltering, Seahawks have a good opportunity to try their best to keep up on top, even though they have the Rams right behind them, and you can't take them for granted. And we've also seen the Cardinals dip a little. It looks like the AFC West is going to go down to Seattle and LA. That should be interesting there. But regardless, though, Seahawks figuring out ways to win thanks to their defense. Getting pick sixes helps. And then the Jets just imploding at the end, and you'll see a new regime change, no doubt. Colts and Patriots with a stellar Anthony Richardson comeback. With the Patriots collapsing towards the end, the Colts keep their season alive and keep themselves in the hunt. Thanks to impressive Anthony Richardson quarterback play at the end, leading a major comeback and going for two to get the victory. How about those Colts? Watch those. This is our Colts. This is our team. You love them if you're a Colts fan. Good stuff. Bengals and Steelers. Once again, the Bengals score over 30 points, and then their defense scores. Defense allows a stupid amount after the fact, too. 44-38, with the resurgence of Russell Wilson clearly being a major story in the NFL this season. 414 yards, 3 touchdowns, going 29 for 38. And while Joe Burrow and the Bengals defense is actually pretty impressive, it's the defense not being able to keep up, giving up major yardage, not being intimidating the red zone whatsoever. And the Steelers, with a big victory that they needed, getting bound after some tough losses back to back, they are now back in a groove of things in a crucial victory, and also secure Mike Tomlin another winning season. Chargers and Falcons. I feel this was the game that I realized the Falcons aren't there. Kirk Cousins, one of the worst games I've ever seen, with 4 interceptions, not a touchdown. And while the Falcons defense kept them in it, the Chargers got a crucial victory that they needed. The rise Lad McConkey, and when people were talking about what weapons do the Chargers actually have, it was all there. I expect, even though they're still technically in the division, but I think it's the Bucs to win. Wouldn't be surprised if Michael Penix is showing up soon. If not the end of the season, because again, they still have a chance. Michael Penix starting quarterback next year would not be a surprise. Texas and Jaguars, obviously the big story there was Trevor Lawrence's hit. Glad to see he's doing all right. Even though I guess you could debate if there was any real intent from if there was any real intent from Aziz, and he's had a reputation to be a hothead. Ultimately, that game did almost rally Jacksonville to make a comeback. Texans ended it there, but despite an 8-5 record, luckily the Houston Texans are in a very bad division. They almost blew this game. They've been struggling all season long. CJ Stroud clearly in a sophomore slump. Can they figure it out towards the end? This is definitely the month to do it. But Houston with a 23-20 victory, and it was very important to make note of that there. But glad to see T-Law okay, but Jacksonville's also ready for a regime change there. Cardinals and Vikings was thrilling to the very last second, with the Vikings getting the victory, winning their 5th straight game. Sam Darnold with another late game heroics throughout, and a team that both teams definitely needed. The Vikings get a crucial victory at home against Arizona. Again, Arizona can stay in with their record, as it's not NFC West isn't particularly strong, but yeah, good stuff there. And as the weeks go by, Darnold keeps improving and improving and improving. So Texas and Commanders, all Commanders in this one. Titans show Will Levis is shot, and the Commanders playing against a much weaker team, just scoring and dominating throughout. Commanders might not be winning this division, but they will definitely be in the playoffs, and like to see where they go playing with house money there. Bucks and Panthers. Panthers getting screwed by a non-call for a touchdown towards the end of the game with Adam Thielen. It's absolutely horrendous. Come on. But Panthers have been improving, and you got to give credit to Bryce Young. He definitely seems to be getting his groove and confidence back, and you have to give him. A lot of people wanted him out of this league, but he's at least proven his point on why he needs to stay. I believe Carolina's come out and said they're not looking for a quarterback. So Bryce Young just getting more of his flowers, and you just got to be happy for the guy. While the Buccaneers do get back to 500, by solid play from Baker in this one, even though a couple of turnovers doesn't sweet, keeps him in it. Is mostly the running game. Bucky Irving, as the weeks go by, looks better and better, and Tampa in a good spot with a big 26-23 victory. Rams and Saints pretty close throughout as well, but Saints almost ran away with it, but back and forth in this low score and affair leads to a big victory for the Rams to keep their season alive with a big Matthew Stafford touchdown of Puka to seal the deal. Fortunately, Saints lose Taysom Hill. And while they are scrapping and keep games close, and technically still just a couple games back, I'm still sure to see that the Saints will put a fight with the division. But the Rams get this big victory that they needed, 21-14. Eagles and Ravens, all about the Philly defense on this one, only allowing 19 points against Lamar, and then just ugly field goal misses from Justin Tucker. You got to be a little concerned now. He's not been the usual Justin Tucker we know, but with the Pittsburgh win and Baltimore losing, now they're back into a game behind. And Saquon might single-handedly get the single season rushing record at another 107-yard game with 23 carries and a touchdown adds to that. But this game really could have gone either way. It just seemed that some crucial mistakes and bad special teams prevented the Ravens at home to get a statement victory over Philly. But yeah, Philly's definitely a top team in this NFC. That's confirmed now. And Baltimore short 24-19 against Philly. 49ers and the Bills, all Bills. 49ers lose McCaffrey. Tough. Bills just score and score. Josh Allen, with one of the best weeks of his life, gets engaged to the great Haley Steinfeld, and then just puts 35 points on a team that was a powerhouse. And you were all going to focus on the running, and Brock Purdy looked pretty awful, not even cracking 100 yards. And Josh Allen, in the crazy temperatures and the crazy weather, is able to help his team with a big victory, 35-10. And yeah, there was just no fight, boring game. And all I could say is Bills at home, baby. Let's go, Bills. Could this be the year Bills finally defeat Mahomes and the Chiefs? Only time will tell, but this team looks so good on offense and defense. And with a whole new receiving regime, Josh Allen is making it work with people like Herbert and Amari Cooper. Thumbs up there, and the different tight ends they've been dealing with too. And Browns and Broncos with a great comeback victory and a big picks, and then a couple pick sixes and a pick six to seal the victory. The Broncos keep their playoff hopes alive. I expect them to be there and end their long playoff drought. And then the Browns just trying to make their season forward with Jameis Winston, and it definitely was an entertaining game. But the Broncos defense coming alive, and then Bo Nix just continuing to score 41-32. Hats off there. But that will just be our week 13 recap of the NFL. Just 4 weeks to go, and just an early look at some of these games. So just why don't we just go through the gauntlet really quick? A very, very, very big Packers and Lions game on Thursday night. Detroit at home against the Packers, the team they defeated already. Just opening it as a 3-point favorite. That's going to be fun. Saints and Giants, Saints, if they have any hope, they'll definitely want to take advantage and win this game as the 5-point favorites. And then Giants and whatever. When the season ends, I'll have a lot to say about my football team then, but let's keep it entertaining. That's all I can say. Jets and Dolphins, same thing too. A game that Miami definitely needs if they want any hopes for their postseason. And the Jets at 3-9. Also, the farewell tale for Aaron Rodgers, I guess, on that one. Browns and Steelers is Kucher. That's going to be a closer game than people think. As the Steelers open as a 6.5-point favorite. That'll be interesting. Bad timing for the Falcons to go against the Vikings. They want to keep their season alive. Minnesota, the return of Kirk Cousins, that'll definitely be a big storyline. Can he get a revenge game against his former team? I don't know. But Minnesota's opening as a 5.5 point favorite. While the Bucks take advantage of a dwindling Raiders team, 6.5 point favorite at home. With Mike Evans back, who scored last week too. I think we'll be seeing some interesting matchup in that one. Panthers and Eagles. Eagles at as a 12.5 point favorite at home. Oh, that's gonna get ugly. Jacksonville and Titans. As long as you're a big football fan, watch that one. You could still bet on that. Seahawks and Cardinals will actually be very interesting, with Arizona opening as a -2.5 point favorite. Cardinals definitely want to make the time the division important game there for 4:05 in the afternoon. Bills and Rams also important. While Buffalo opening as a 5 point favorite at on the road, Rams need this game, especially they need the Cardinals to defeat Seattle to get this tie going as we head into the final few weeks of the season. That's what we're all here for, meaningful December games. Then the Bears and 49ers. The Bears are 4.5 point underdogs against the 49ers, also trying to keep their semblance alive despite all the injuries they have. But they'll be on the road. They'll be hosting the Bears. And I wanted the Monday Night Football. Sorry, Sunday Night Football. We have the Chargers and Chiefs, which actually has some stakes to that. Can the Chargers make a statement, go into Arrowhead and get a victory over Mahomes? There is no doubt they're going to be a controversial call on the refs in this game, especially a very big divisional game. But we'll ultimately see what that winds up being, right? And then the Bengals and Cowboys, also two teams that very much can use a win against each other to seal their fate going going in deeper to the end of the season. That actually has some stakes there with Cincinnati as the 5 point favorite there. But that'll be our recaps for this week. Next week, don't forget where you have two shows for you on Tuesday. We got the college football playoff on Tuesday, a reaction to Selection Sunday, and who will be in the college football playoff once and for all. So that'll be available to you late Monday into early Tuesday, as well as a week 14 reaction to the NFL season. So thumbs up there. See you on Friday with a new tweet cap. And let's continue to enjoy this holiday season and make big moves out here. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And I will see you all at the end of the week. Much love, and check out what we have for you this week with another tweet cap with a lot of good stuff. Thank you. Peace.